Hey gang, it's JC, and this is the Daily Dose for Friday, February 25th, 2011, a combined venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Brentwood. Archives top of the page, and by the way, we just put up some great new stuff. I haven't put up anything new in the Video Village and the Wayback Machine in a while, but we put some new stuff up 2 days ago. For example, this is the 12th anniversary of the implosion of the St. Louis Arena, the old barn. Hard to believe that it's been 12 years since they knocked that thing down. And we have the video of the implosion, which includes a camera that they put inside the building so that as the building was kind of coming down on itself, they just said, well, let's put a cheap camera in there. We're going to lose the camera. But what an amazing shot. And it is, by the way. So we have the implosion of the old arena 12 years ago this weekend. And then also we have a thing back in 1989. I did the Randy Hundley fantasy camp. Randy Hundley was a catcher with the Chicago Cubs for a long time. And he was the first guy to really sort of do these fantasy camps where old guys come out and sort of relive their youthful days and play against team members. And they came down here and did a Cardinals fantasy camp. We played against some of the guys like Al Roboski and Joe Cunningham and Ted Savage and guys like that. So you'll see the video of me pitching against Randy Hundley, and I think you might even be a little surprised by what you see. So again, the Wayback Machine and the Video Village up there at the top of the page. Of course, Eye Candy right along the bottom of the page, and we'll tell you about that in just a couple of seconds. And also we have Oscar picks, and I'll get into the Oscar situation here in just a couple of minutes. Let's start with, every day I say it. Every day I say it. I try to steer away from the Lindsay Lohan and the Charlie Sheen stories, but they won't let me. They just won't let me. And the Charlie Sheen story takes another bizarre twist because the remainder of the season of 2.5 Men has been canceled. They just basically said, forget it. And the reason why is because Charlie went on a nationally syndicated radio show yesterday and blasted the crap out of everybody who was responsible for the decision at CBS to suspend operations of that show while Charlie tried to get his life together. And I mean, I got like 4 pages of text here, Charlie just basically taking everybody's head off. And then he basically he starts making fun of Alcoholics Anonymous, saying that they're stupid, defends his relationship with what he calls his goddesses. And then at some point, we told you yesterday that he got on a plane to, I think the Bahamas or Barbados or one of those places with this woman he's been running around with, and then also one of these porn skanks, and then also the ex-wife, Brooke Mueller. Well, apparently one day of that was all she wanted, and she bailed out, and then he took her head off too. Oh, God. It's just a mess. And now Charlie Sheen is indicating that he's been in conversations with HBO to do a show over there where they would let him do anything he wanted and just pay him a ton of money. And we'll just see if Charlie's hallucinating or what the story is there. All right. Faye Dunaway, supposedly going to do Dancing with the Stars. She is 70 years old now. You saw her in Bonnie and Clyde, Barfly, just a lot of movies. Jack Nicholson movies, if I have to tell you which one. Don't depress me that much. Chinatown. But anyhow, Florence Henderson was 76 when she did the show last season. Cloris Leachman was 82 when she did it in 2008. There are lots of rumors going around as to who's going to be the new cast, if you will, on Dancing with the Stars. A lot of the names have come up are Brett Favre, talk show host Wendy Williams. You're going to have to find a guy with long arms to dance with her because her boobs are the size of watermelons. I don't know how you could get close enough. You'd have to dance with her from behind, which could be interesting in itself. Also, who else are we hearing? We're hearing Portia de Rossi and Madonna's mid-90s boyfriend and the father of her daughter, Lourdes. That would be Carlos Leon. We'll see. Earlier this week, we told you about that app that you could get for Facebook. It's basically a thing where if somebody changes their availability status from, married or in a relationship to single, you enter in that person's name, and if they change their status to single, your phone just starts lighting up on fire. Well, yesterday, the app blew up. It was the first day of operation. 3.5 million signups in 1 week, as a matter of fact. And now Facebook has shut it down. They've told the developer it was taxing their system too much, and they're working on some way maybe to get that application back up. I have suspected this for a while. Remember, we used to call him Muammar Gaddafi, and his last name started with a K? And then you started seeing people say Gaddafi and putting a G in there. And then we've even seen a Q for Gaddafi. And then some of the V's and F's have been interchangeable or something. I'm like, what's going on? The guy, huh? So now ABC News has basically said, yeah, some of these news organizations are just sort of making it up as they go. They just start his name with a Q one day, with a G the next day, and a K the next day. And, nobody is really calling him out on it. And finally ABC said, what are you guys doing? Which is good. I'm glad somebody did. Want to try that new healthy breakfast at McDonald's? Well, it has more sugar than a Snickers bar, only 10 fewer calories than an Egg-a-Muffin, and 21 different ingredients, most of them chemicals. Have a nice day. A couple of bad movies opening up this weekend. Owen Wilson and Saturday Night Live's Jason Sudeikis in Hall Pass, Jenna Fisher and Christina Applegate. The movie is just basically saying, people are just saying, melt this thing down into guitar picks before anybody even has to be subjected to it. And then Drive Angry with Nicolas Cage. And the director of the movie finally copped to the thing yesterday that the title of the movie, Drive Angry, it comes from Groundhog Day, the Bill Murray movie. There's a scene where the groundhog is sitting on his lap and Bill Murray is driving the truck that he stole, and he's like, don't drive angry, don't drive angry. And they finally said, yeah, that's where we got the name for the movie. All right, you can love your Paul McCartneys, and I certainly do. You can be inspired by John Lennon, and I certainly was. And you can just sort of get a kick out of Ringo, and I certainly get a kick out of Ringo. But I think in a lot of ways, George Harrison was my favorite Beatle. There was just something about his odd sense of humor. And all of the Beatles had quirky personalities, quirky personalities, and it was easy for girls to just fall in love with John, or with Paul, or John, as the case may be. But there was just something, I think my love of George Harrison had as much to do with the solo work that he did, All Things Must Pass and stuff like that, and his battle to sort of defend his reputation in My Sweet Lord when they accused him of stealing the chiffon song, He's So Fine. I loved George Harrison, and he died at the age of 57. That's smoking too many of those goddamn cigarettes early in life. Well, the concert for George was made in 2002, and they put the album out and the video. Eric Clapton, Ringo Starr, Paul McCartney, Tom Petty, Monty Python, Jeff Lynne from ELO. It is one of the finest live albums. I'm not even going to restrict it to live. It's one of the finest albums I own. The music is absolutely sensational. You really wonder how they were able to do something like that live and get studio quality out of it. And maybe they sweetened it later, I don't know. But all I know is it's incredibly, incredibly cool to listen to. Well, the website, georgeharrison.com, is going to run that thing all day long. The concert from 2002, so you can check that out. The concert for George, free all day at georgeharrison.com. Yeah, it's very, very good. You should check it out. All right, let's segue to the Oscars. All right, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think this is going to be a particularly good show this year. I think that we got a couple of problems. The hosts, I just don't have a good feeling about James Franco and Anne Hathaway. I'll stop short of saying disaster, but they got to really show me something, because I don't see it. I'm all for shaking things up a little bit as far as the Oscar telecast is concerned, and but I'm not sure this was it. And this will be the first time probably ever. I don't ever recall a non-comedian hosting the Oscar show, and I think it's a bad idea. Let's see what happens, though. All right, here's who's going to win this. And again, I think it's going to be sort of a dull show. I don't think there's going to be any surprises, and I think there's going to be, in large part, a big runaway here. Best Supporting Actress, I'm going to go with Melissa Leo. Now, Helena Bonham Carter was in The King's Speech, and The King's Speech is going to win an awful lot of stuff Sunday night, and I'm just afraid that it might do some sort of a massive sweep, and that would be terrible if that happened, because Helena Bonham Carter is very, very good in The King's Speech, but Melissa Leo gave the best performance, and the degree of difficulty, I would say also, which I really take into consideration when I'm evaluating movie roles and movies. I think she had a higher degree of difficulty. I think Melissa Leo will win. I hope she does win. And let's go on to his Best Supporting Actor. And here's another one. If Christian Bale doesn't win for The Fighter, well, then I throw my arms up and I just sort of give up then, because the only other person I think that has a real shot would be Jeffrey Rush, and that's if The King's Speech just goes nuts and starts winning everything. But Christian Bale should win. I think he will win. If he doesn't, I might not take the Oscars very seriously anymore. Best Actress, you know what I think of The Black Swan, but Natalie Portman's going to win, and that's that. Best Actor is going to be Colin Firth. If he doesn't win, I jump out the window. That's the prohibitive favorite, as Jimmy the Greek used to say. That one is such a runaway, the other people just might not even show up. Best Director, I think Tom Hooper will win for The King's Speech, and Best Picture will be The King's Speech. And that's pretty much it. I don't think, unless we get some incredibly inspirational speeches, acceptance speeches, unless the writers of that show and producers have something up their sleeve. I don't know. I just don't know. By the way, here's all the movies. I've seen them all. The Fighter, there it is. There you got your Black Swan. Social Network right there. There's The King's Speech. There's 127 Hours. We didn't talk too much about True Grit. Good movie, worth seeing, but, we know who our winners are going to be. Let's just leave it at that. All right, JC's Eye Candy today with the Academy Awards this weekend. I thought I'd show you some really terrible acting, and part of it is done by me, part of it's done by McGraw-Milhaven, and part of it's done by John Brown. The Big 550 KTRS, where I do the show with Trish Gazelle every weekday from 10 until 1, has a new TV commercial, and you're going to see it popping up on your television in your very own home over the course of the next few days and weeks. But you can also watch it online on JC's Eye Candy right here. And it's obviously, if you've seen the movie The Usual Suspects, you'll sort of get a kick out of this. That's JC's Eye Candy. And that's it. Have a great weekend, everybody. JC's Daily Dose for Friday, February 25th, 2011. A combined venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Brentwood. Our first of 4 shows from Cardinal Spring Training is next Wednesday. Okay, so Wednesday of next week, we start from Jupiter, Florida at Roger Dean Stadium. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Monday. So the first of 4 begin Wednesday on the Big 550 KTRS. In the meantime, we've beaten this one to death. Have a good one. See you later. Bye.